Teresa?
Gary?
Long time no talk, stranger.
I know. How's it going?
Pretty good. I feel like it's been a month since we've talked. I figured
When was the last
we weren't going to do it. Oh, am I interrupting you? We're not going to start the show off this way. We're going to put the, see, I just did it again. We're going to put the kibosh on that right now. What would you like to say?
I don't even know. This is the problem. When you interrupt me, I lose my train of thought. I think you were saying it's been like a month. I was trying to remember. I was looking. The last episode I was on was July 15th. So yeah, about a month.
Holy cow.
I know. But it's okay. And I know it's been kind of a weird, rough month for me. So
a rough year for you.
Yeah, I mean but especially this past month, it's just not been the best for a variety of reasons. So yeah, it's been a little hard to get back into the whole podcast thing. I think I don't know. I think we're we're struggling a bit. We lost our mojo.
The mojo is mojo low at the moment. We need to find that magic and just make that magic again, because we've been so sporadic. And I thought I'd poke a little fun at it on the Marsham Toy Hour Facebook group this week by posting a poll asking the listeners if they thought we would have an episode on Monday. And I just put up 2 answers, yes or no. But I didn't close the option. So Anne later followed with another option of something. What was how did she phrase it?
You didn't say which Monday.
Yes. And Anne was an absolute, she just killed the poll. She was the poll slayer because everyone started selecting her option after that.
Well, the thing is, though, when you posted that, I thought it was a joke. So I didn't know if you were actually trying to be serious with it. And I bet most people didn't really know if it was a serious question or not. So what was funniest to me is at that point when you posted it, we only had the one no, and I was laughing because I was like, they're the only one right now.
He was the only one that selected no, I think. That might still hold true, but at the time he was correct, but now we're going to release this and he's wrong. So, but yeah, it is up to you and I to get this show up and rolling again.
I don't know. I think we just need to get back into the zone, the podcast mindset. Start looking in the news again, coming up with ideas, brainstorming, bouncing stuff off each other, and I think we'll bring the mojo back. Because I think honestly it all started after 5 points, because we got back, you had the move, so we were off for that, and then all my stuff kind of followed after it. So at first it was you, and then it was me, and it just compounded into this perfect storm of podcast fallout. So
yeah,
I don't know. But and I think you make a good point. I mean, George, we love you, but it is kind of on just us. So I don't know. I think you had a post about a B team or something.
Yeah, Mark mentioned that, like having a replacements scenario. When we're out, there's just a group of replacements that come in and fill in. And I don't know how you feel about that. It's not a bad suggestion.
No, I mean, I think having other people to pull in as more, I guess, frequent hosts wouldn't hurt. I don't know if anyone would be interested, or even just people, like, sometimes it helps just people, like, some people will DM us some stuff or, message us with some things, and that can kind of help put some news in front of us. So even stuff like that, if people have stuff they see or guest ideas or whatever, it's just because I feel like every time we try to post and get ideas, people don't really take it seriously. We just get weird stuff. I don't know. Whatever we need to do, whether it's a B team or just us getting our shit together again, but let's get our mojo back and let's keep this thing going, Gary. I don't want it to end.
No, I don't want it to end either. I agree. We need to get back to things. One time we did do a thing with Yaniv where we let him produce for a week. Maybe we need to try that again. Let a listener, either they can find the guests or they can bullet point all the topics or all the such and such. And that's what Yaniv did. And I think that episode turned out really well. And actually, I think, did Yaniv host that episode as well?
Yeah, I think I think he came on and he led the entire discussion.
Okay.
I mean, he basically said, all right, let's talk about X. So yeah, we could try that. That could be fun.
Because that's where we need the help.
I think we should also force George to host one day because
Could you
George
imagine?
needs to be George needs to be in the hot seat. Picture him. We say, George, Gary and I are going to sit back. You lead the convo. You lead discussions. You bring up stuff you want to talk about.
I don't even know what that would be like.
I have a feeling it'd be, you know how George is when we bring up stuff and he's always like half listening, has no idea what we're talking about.
He's
I
on
have a
mute,
feeling,
sculpting and watching something else, barely listening to us.
yeah, he'd turn the tables and he'd bring up some action figure Glyos whatever thing, and we'd both be like, what?
We've both been glossed over. What?
It'd be George talking to himself the whole episode because you and I would be just clueless.
That would be a fun episode. I'd be really curious to see what you and George are like together without me.
That'd be
What would
hard.
that
I don't
be like?
know. You're kind of our in-betweener. I don't know. I
Okay,
feel like I know George some, but I don't know. Anyway, you want to talk some toys?
let's talk some toys.
Do
What's
we
been
want to
going
do
on?
are we doing a Marsham intro?
I'll do it right now. Hey, toy family! Welcome to the Marsham Toy Hour, where we discuss anything and everything designer toys. I'm Gary Ham,
I'm Teresa Hawkins.
and no
Here we are.
George. No George, because
No
we didn't even let him know we're recording. This was something that I was
Sorry,
talking.
George.
I was talking with Teresa last night. It's like, hey, we haven't talked in a long time. Let's catch up. And they said, you know what? Let's just jump on and record in the morning and catch up that way. So, George, sorry, buddy. This is impromptu.
I'm proud you have decent amount of pep since it's morning for you.
We made a donut run with the kids. I got some sugar in me.
I gotcha. What kind of donut? I need to know.
Chocolate ice donut with some sort of white cream in the middle.
Oh, like you went to like a grocery?
Yeah, like a grocery. Hagen.
Ah, what?
Hagen.
Hagen.
Haggen. The Hagen line. It's kind of like a Whole Foods, more organic. Pretty good.
Never heard of it. Anyway, but yeah. So real quick, because I think there's something fun we can talk about. But guess what showed up on my doorstep right before we hopped on?
Oh, you won that crazy waffle thing. Is that what showed up?
It is.
Holy shit.
So
Explain this one.
yeah, so Corey of Strange Tech Toys decided to waffle one of your 20-inch stag dunnies, the brown and pink version.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I got the gray one and the yellow, and I really, really liked it. But I hadn't decided if I wanted to splurge and get both. And so when he posted up that waffle, I thought, what the hey? Like, I'll join in. Why not? This is, $650 toy. I have a chance to get it for, I don't know, like $30 or whatever. Sure, peace. So in the main waffle, I think I just entered in one slot or something, but then he did a mini, and I did a couple of slots there, and I won the mini. And when I won the mini, that gave me like 8 extra slots in the main. And lo and behold, one of the random numbers I selected for the mini won the freaking thing. It was insane. And actually, the winning of the waffle happened during my crazy month. So it was kind of this weird moment where I was dealing with all this crap, and I was like, holy crap, I can't believe I won this thing. But anyway, because I was in and out of town and dealing with some stuff, Corey didn't ship it right away. So he shipped it when I got back from Florida, and it just showed up from UPS today. So
Wow.
I still cannot believe. I think at the end of the day, it was like less than $60. I mean,
I'm
insane.
extremely happy for you, but really bummed for myself because I have 5 as samples that I've been waiting to sell, and I was depending on you
I know.
buying one of those. So now, here's the thing: I have 5 of them, but I don't want to put them online. I really want these to end up in the right hands of people who want them and appreciate it. I don't want to give them to a flipper because these are my own personal samples. So I was relying on you being that person and you giving me some money.
I'm sorry, Gary. The luck was on my side.
I guess so.
So I'm beyond excited. I haven't even opened it yet, and the box looks a little sketch. UPS kind of did a number on it, so fingers crossed it's okay. I know there's a crap ton of styrofoam in there, so
Yeah, it's
after
fine.
we hop off, I get to
Open
and
it
I can't
now.
believe it. No, that will take forever. You don't want me to do that online. On record.
I could do the whole fast forward sound effect.
All right. Okay, we're doing this. I gotta go downstairs. Doop, doop, doop.
Low budget fast forward sound effect.
Oh, I forgot. It's a box in a box. Duh.
With some styrofoam corners and everything, you should be good.
Okay. I don't know. Okay, question. Do you think people should keep the shipper box for 20-inch dunnies?
No,
I
just
asked,
get rid of that stuff, unless you think you're going to resell it.
it's hard to toss stuff, Gary. I gotta go through some kind of like exorcism that forces me to purge.
What you need is some kids to make some box forts out of this stuff. I can send you two.
No, don't send me more boxes, Gary.
No, kids.
Oh, no, thank you. Okay, man, this is, whoo, that's some vinyl smell. Ooh, damn. Okay, this looks better in person. It's a lot darker in the photos.
Yeah, yeah, the photos, they look nice, but I knew it was not representing the toy. Because you're right, the photos look so dark and so rich, and that's not how it is.
Yeah, because the pink looked like full-on hot pink
Hot
in
pink,
the photo.
yeah. And I don't know if that was just
And
how it came across in the photo, or if that was adjusted, but yeah, so much better in person.
The brown looks really dark.
Yep.
Yeah, this looks nice. Man, I cannot believe it. This is insane. Oh my gosh, I have so much stuff.
Yeah, have fun trying to find a spot for that one. All right, now let's move on to some toy talk.
Okay, so let me get back upstairs. I'm just gonna leave my mess. I just made a giant mess. Okay. You ready?
Yep.
Talk other stuff? Okay, so anyway, I just had to mention that because yeah, it's exciting. So I don't know. I still cannot believe I won that. But
you got some luck with winning things. You won that, and you win like the big grand prize sort of stuff.
I actually surprisingly, I don't know. I have won a few Instagram contests, and this waffle was a crazy win. But I've definitely lost a lot on waffles too. So sometimes it kind of evens out.
If you win that horrible Adorables Autumn Stag Dorable that they made,
oh, that'd be nice.
Can you please let me buy it off you?
No. If I win, I win. Sorry, fair and square. And I actually went in and added a few last minute spot purchases.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I think, don't they pick it today?
If you mean at time of record, yeah. So they're going to announce the winner Monday, August 11th.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, that would be insane. So yeah, but let's talk other toys. So something exciting coming up next weekend.
Next weekend?
Next weekend. It's the second Popmart show of the year, BTS.
BTS, that's right.
BTS.
Yeah, I would highly suggest people not search that hashtag, because what they're going to get back is a Korean boy band, and they're all smiling very uncomfortably back at you. Just don't do it.
Oh my
Search the actual word, Beijing Toy Show.
Yes, I agree. But BTS, Beijing Toy Show, is coming up. It's going to be August 16th through 18th. And talking about the hashtag, Gary, so BTS and a lot of these overseas shows, a lot of times it can be hard to follow the news of like what's going to be releasing and what's going to be at these events. But I think Popmart does something kind of cool if you know where to look for it. Have you seen the way they format the different toy releases for their events?
I haven't.
So what Popmart does is they actually release news via the WeChat app. I know we've talked about WeChat before, and I don't get into it often, but I do have it on my phone for the rare occasion where I realize I may need to go in there to find some toy news. But they publish these links, and I kind of equate them to like a giant promotional poster, but in digital form. And it's these crazy long pages of pictures, but with each photo, it shows toy that's releasing, who the artist is, what booth it's going to be at. It even says the price ahead of time. And it might have even more info, but it's only partially English, so I can't entirely interpret everything in there. But it actually is really, really nice because if you think about it, a lot of times when we're prepping for other events, even like a decon in our 5 points, there's not really a one-stop shop where you can just go and find out everything. You kind of have to follow certain artists or check out the blog or see what people are posting in groups, check out hashtags. So even though it seems like it's really hard to find BTSUs, if you know where to get it, it's actually really nice.
This is really cool. This you just sent me the link, so I'm seeing it for the first time, and I saw something similar to this on the Toy Chronicle. They did a BTS thread, but I didn't know. So this is what you're seeing on WeChat, I guess. But to describe to listeners, it's kind of like a giant catalog. It's just scrolling, kind of like scrolling through an IG feed, and all the toy releases there are all in this one link with prices, names, company, booth number, everything. This is. I wish all conventions did this.
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome. And it's also the fact that they include, I mean, there's the toy and the booth and everything, but the fact that they also know pricing info, I don't know, just to me that's like a huge game changer as a collector because so many times when you're trying to prep, if you're trying to budget or anything, it's really hard to know what something's going to cost. You might have a point of reference from a previous purchase or if you've bought from that artist before, but a lot of times you're going in blind and you have a general idea, but you may not know what something's going to be. So it's super helpful. And also it's super helpful from a muling perspective because being that I can't go to BTS, if I'm trying to reach out to someone and say, hey, can you grab this for me? I have an easy link to go check out, and I can kind of screenshot it and even know what it's going to cost me generally. So it's cool.
Yes, but what I've noticed is that maybe it's because it's a language thing. Maybe I'm not seeing it because I think it's written in Chinese. Does it make any mention of size?
Yeah, that is kind of the one con because it doesn't, and again, unless it's written in that text we can't really read. So that's the one thing that's tricky is it can be really hard to know how big these pieces are. And you know me, I'm very particular. So it can be really hard because there have been times where you eye something and you think you want it. And a lot of times you have to say, hey, I want this thing. You can't wait until more pictures start coming out to give you an idea of that size reference.
Mm-hmm.
And there have been times where it's not been the size I expected, either bigger or smaller than I had in my head.
And size matters to you.
Size matters. That sounds dirty. Oh my gosh.
I did not put that into your head. You did that
Yeah.
one. That was all you.
Usually you're the one telling me that the things I've said could be interpreted.
That's because you're really bad at it.
Because when I'm speaking, Gary, I'm not thinking in my head that I'm saying anything that could be spun into a dirty connotation. But yeah, so anyway, flipping through all these links and stuff, there was something I saw that I thought you might think was really cool. There's a new Kosing Lung piece. So you know Zamomo, the character by Kosing Lung that you say is basically a version of Labubu, but it's not Labubu.
It's Labubu.
But it's the larger-headed Zamomo character, wider smile. But they're releasing a new version of Zamomo as a dino called Goji Momo. And it's Zamomo's head on kind of a T-Rex Stegosaurus combination kind of body, kaiju body. Did you see it?
I do see it. I'm not a fan of this particular gray-purple colorway, but I love the concept of this.
It's awesome. And I bet, again, size context, hard to know, but I have a feeling it's on the large side, similar to Zamomo, which is a pretty decent hunk of vinyl.
I'm glad it's not like a properly licensed Godzilla version. At least I don't think it is. This seems just like a kaiju-y Zamomo.
Exactly.
I like it.
You know, there was actually something else that I saw for Labubu that I'm curious what you think about.
There's a crap ton of Labubu. I'm going through this link. There's a lot of Labubu. He's blowing up.
There's a lot of
almost to the point of oversaturation, though.
I don't know, but I mean, they are doing a lot of colorways, which in a way I think is good because you should have a likelihood to pick it up and pick a colorway, like wait for the right colorway. But I think in the same sense of blowing up, one thing I think is really cool, they've gotten picked up by a license. They're pulling themselves in the license world. So I actually saw some news of Labubu and working with Illumination, but they're Labubu minions.
Yeah, I just saw that
So what do you
actually.
think?
Um, it translates really well. The crossover with the minions is great. So it's Labubu and Zamomo as two different minions, and they look really nice. Does it appeal to me? No, it's not something I would buy just because I like Labubu doesn't mean I'm going to want these. And it makes me a little fearful that is what I love about Labubu gonna be tarnished? Or is the shine of what I like about Labubu gonna be gone a little bit? I don't think I'm still gonna love the original Labubu stuff that Kosing Lung had intended, but I feel like this is probably gonna go the way of the Molly, right? Like so, how Molly's become basically there's a Molly mass market appeal for anyone and everybody out there. It's been done in every theme, done in different licenses, and I kind of feel that's how maybe Labubu is probably going to be going. I did not see Labubu being a platform for different licensed properties, but I'm sure we'll probably end up seeing a Stay Puff or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or SpongeBob. So it's going to be different. That's all.
Yeah, I get what you're saying because I agree. On face value, I actually really like these. I think it's a really good
Yeah.
collaboration, and the two styles mesh perfectly. So they're great. But I get your point though about I get what I'm trying to figure out the right word too. It's almost like you're a little bit bummed because it's this thing that was artist driven and felt kind of special, limited in a sense, and it's just becoming a bit oversaturated and it's losing some of that spark, I guess. But at the same time, it doesn't turn me off or make me like the non-licensed stuff I have bought or want to buy any less. Because,
Right.
like, you bring up SpongeBob. SpongeBob has like infiltrated our scene. I feel like everyone and their mother got their hands on that license. But you think about like some of the big things I collect are like Ziki Dinos or Elfies from Unbox, and they released some SpongeBob, licensed stuff for those products, and I wasn't really into them. But I don't look at my shelf of Ziki Dinos and Elfies now and like them any less. I mean, I still love those things that I collect. So
Yeah.
I don't mind seeing the blending of worlds, but I also get how it can be a turnoff or a bit of a bummer. I mean, think about like the Kid Robot Batman Dunnies, right?
Do I have to?
No, but it's kind of that idea, right? Certain things, if you're really passionate about, when they turn into a licensed direction, can really bum people out and kind of change the opinion of things.
If done right, it's fantastic. These Labubu minion ones, they work really well together. It's the more forced
Yeah.
collaborations that don't work. I've seen Ugly Doll ones with the heroes, the Marvel or whatever. Those did not work at all to me. But there's certain licensings that make sense. And I'm a hypocrite here because I own only one Labubu figure, and it's Where the Wild Things Are one. So in that regard, but I don't know if that one's an officially licensed one. I know these Illumination ones are, but like so, if it's meaningful to someone, like I'm looking at this Uwamu Stay Puft Marshmallow Man one. That's great too. I really like it. And speaking of the license thing, so the Raise Up Your Hands
Yep.
toys, the Ryu, is it RYUH?
Yep.
Okay.
No, RUYH, raise up your hands.
See, I'm an idiot. So that one is also seemingly kind of going in the same direction because they did this little a three set, and it's Toy Story themed.
Yeah, but again, I get it. I get what you're saying. But I think you make a point about there are some licensed collabs that go wrong and they just don't mesh and it's like you just slapped this license on top of it. And there's some where I think they've blended the worlds pretty well. And I think this is another example where it's kind of a good merger of the two. It's still the original designer toy character, but spun into a Toy Story theme.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's tons of this
There's
stuff.
always those different lines. Like you're talking about Toys R Us Plus, they're actually I don't know if you've seen the Doo character. That sounds bad. It's Dou, not like poop doo doo. But Doo is like a gosh, I don't know if it's supposed to be a fennec fox or a Shiba dog. But anyway, thinking about like licenses and stuff, they're going to release at Beijing Toy Show both a large and a mini version of Doo, so the regular and the baby, and they look like solely from Monsters Inc. So it's a blue with purple spot colorway. And when you look at it, you think Monsters Inc., but it's not officially licensed.
Right, exactly. So it's only the paint application that's making it relatable to Toy Story or Monsters Inc. or whatever. We see it, people do it all the time with they take their figure and they give it a Skeletor cutaway or whatever, SpongeBob or whatever. Sometimes it's only the colors make it license relatable. And I think that's one thing that's different. I'd have to think about it for a while, but I think designer toys has gone into the direction where it's more wanting to be more mass market appeal than when I first started. I think when I first started, it was all about just original creation, original IP, small runs, and now people really just want to tap into anything pop culture related to get a little more sales. And it's not always just pop culture related. A lot of times it's just the theme. I got well these Labubu ones. The Labubu is now doing themes that can relate in the same with the Molly that can relate to a lot of people out there. So they did the band series, and now they're doing for BTS. It's going to be a sports series where anyone who's into baseball or weightlifting or any sport that's in the Olympics, they'll now have a Labubu that matches that. So it's kind of that. It's kind of always been going on. Food, circus, space. There's something that someone always taps into that might have a little more wide market appeal. Same thing with colorways. People might like Neapolitan ice cream or watermelon or candy corn. There's always something someone's trying to tap into to get people to relate to their original design in a more personal manner.
Right. Well, and that's kind of honestly the idea of these theme series and just pumping out various series for different characters is becoming a common thing for Popmart. I mean, I am seeing so many blind boxes being pumped out from them. Like you said, there's the Sport Labubu series. There's another Fluffy House series called Fluffy into House, which is like a spin on kind of hip hop style. We're seeing a second OK Luna Kid Fox series that's summer themed. We're even seeing Demo, which is that Mountain Toys character that I think came up on the STS episode with Candy. It's like a
Yep.
little boy with the cloud character head. But Popmart picked them up and they're releasing the first series of Demo in like an animal theme at BTS.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just part of what when you go through these links, there's just blind box series after blind box series after blind box series. And it's just what they're doing. And it seems like they're churning all this stuff out with no signs of stopping. And I don't know, I kind of feel like I find myself on the fence between, is it like an awesome bring me more feeling or a too much too fast?
They are hitting it pretty fast, but they're doing phenomenal stuff. The Pucky series are amazing. This the Boo Boo, they're great looking series. I mean, this I'm looking at the sports one now. It almost looks like an Olympics promotion. Honestly, you know what it looks like? It looks like Smurfs to me. Remember back in you probably Smurfs is probably before your time, but I used to go to a Hallmark store and they would have hundreds of Smurfs. They would have Hefty Smurf, Angry Smurf. They wanted to cover every single personality trait and sport, and like a Smurf had something for everybody, and that's kind of what Molly and Labubu seem like to me. They seem like Smurfs.
Yeah, I get what you're coming from, but where they're just going, it's definitely where they're headed. And I think you're right. Labubu is headed the way of the Molly, where Molly at this point, I feel like I've seen a million bajillion different blind box series themes, as well as larger figures that are licensed or even non-licensed, but still related to a certain theme. So it does seem like it's headed in that direction. I don't,
It's not bad, but it's just I think it just goes away from what the original intention that Costigan Long had for it. Like, did he always have this envision that his character is going to be playing ping pong and baseball and weightlifting? Because in my in mind. It always kind of had a where the wild things are vibe. Maybe these characters of his kind of lived in the forest and then their own
Yeah.
little world. And now this is just anything and everything. Labubu does everything. And I'm not really into that side of it. I'm still kind of very much into the Labubu I discovered 2 years ago.
So let me ask you this. Think about your characters. Whooper Looper, Sylvan, Hermes, whatever, right? You know, this is they're your passion, your characters, your vision. But if you got the opportunity to work with Popmart, right? And Popmart said, "We want to make more of your stuff." And part of that meant making blind box series that maybe start out where it's just a simple series of creating sort of a character line, right? You think about Fluffy House or OK Lunar or Labubu even, right? There are certain characters that are always at the face value what are going to be in every series. But then they start producing, cooking themes and sports themes and whatever. Would you want that?
I like to think that I would stay true to whatever what's right for the character, but at the same time, I can see where money would persuade someone to do stuff like this, or knowing that doing this is going to really further your brand. I get why it's done. It's just, you know.
But I mean, do you think you're sitting here and you're saying, from your perspective with Kasing Long and Labubu and all that, in a way, it bums you out a bit. Would it bum you? Because you think about it from their perspective, they're probably excited. They're getting all this opportunity, these different ways to bring their characters
Of
to
course.
life. So part of me is like, I think it'd be cool to see like all these crazy variations of Whooper Loopers eating burgers and whatever.
It would be great,
So
but we'd be having the same discussion. Let me flip this on to you. You're a huge fan of Rhiniak and Amanda Louise Spade. What if Thimblestump Hollow all of a sudden has a sports series, a space series, or Skinned and Minion? How would you feel?
it's a good question. It'd be weird.
It'd be
I
weird,
think it'd be
right?
weird. Yeah,
Because
I mean,
that's not the original tension they have in mind for it. You kind of know what Chris's world is, and then
right.
it's
It's a good
going to a
point.
more mass market appeal.
I get what you're saying because you're right. I mean, you have in your head this vision of these mythical. A lot of the, I think, a lot of our favorite characters and a lot of what designer toys is created of is made up things. It's these creations that people have pulled out of their brain that don't exist in the real world, which makes them all that more fun and all that more great. So in my head, yes, like I'm picturing the world of Bindlewood and Thimblestump Hollow and all their different critters. They live in their own little fantasy world. So to see them brought in and be SpongeBobified would be really weird. It would be
Can
weird,
that be a
but
term that we carry throughout the scene now? If something has been bobified, it's been what we're talking about right now.
Bobified, you're shortening it down. You don't like my
Bobified.
Bob.
SpongeBobified, it's a bit much.
Okay, I like Bobified.
How about
But yeah,
Smurfed? If something got Smurfed,
Smurfed. I like that.
we coined a new term.
But no, I think you flipping that and making me think of it from that perspective. I get what you're saying. But I think there is still that middle ground where if they were to do, say, a theme series like Thimble Stump Food, they actually, I think if you go to the Thimble Stump Hollow account on Instagram, it was like a little sketch. I'm not sure if they're actually doing it, but like they had turned one of their characters into an ice cream cone. And that was cute. I liked that. Where I could see maybe playing with it a little bit on the theme side of doing like a spin of food themed characters. I could
Mm-hmm.
be into that. But I think pushing it to the point of the license thing would feel weird for sure. So,
Yeah.
okay, I want to go back to one thing though. So, this whole idea of too much too fast with Popmart, I think I'm with you. Like, they're doing a fantastic job and everything they're creating is, I think, doing very, very well. But the one thing I will say is, like, while it's great and I love the growth, I do think I've shifted a bit in my collecting style of Popmart things as a result of the pattern they've been developing. I think one thing it's because it's become easier to get my hands on stuff from them now that they're blowing up and US retailers are selling a lot of it. I feel like I'm not as caught up in that impulse of needing to buy. There's certain toys in the scene, right? Like your Whooper Looper sales, I'll use that as an example. Or even some of like Chris and Amanda stuff or Quicks or whatever. But there's certain things that release and it's kind of a now or never moment, right? you waiting for the drop time and you know it's going to sell fast and that colorway is limited, never going to come again. If you're going to buy it, you need to buy it then. But I think with a lot of the Popmart stuff, particularly the blind boxes, I have time to think.
Yeah.
I'm not as quick to pre-order a full case. You know, and I'm even debating like if it's a theme that I'm like, I don't know, like I'm not sure I'm into that theme. I feel like I can wait and see what's coming next because I'm expecting there's going to be more and more than likely relatively soon. So it's a shift for me in my collector style.
I could see that. No, definitely. If you know it's going to be sitting around for a while, if you know they made 30 to 50,000 units of something, and I think that's kind of what happened to the whole Dunny market for a while there, is once you make too much and the sellouts stop happening, collectors like yourself realize, I can wait. And so I
Yeah,
think that's what's happened with you.
yeah, it's not only that, but it's also, and I think part of it is also just a product of the shift in my collecting style. I'm trying to be less impulsive.
Yeah.
And so when I look at a series, there's usually my initial reaction of like my squee, like, oh my God, that's so cute. But then I take a minute and I'm like, okay, do I really like this theme? Do I really need a full set? Or am I okay with certain ones? And is it better to hunt down those specific ones than to play the blind box game? So I feel like I'm maturing in my ways, so to speak.
And
And
I'm proud of you, but at the same time, the economy needs you. Get back to the old Teresa.
oh goodness, it's not just me driving this scene. There are plenty of other wonderful people out there purchasing awesome goodies. So
There are, and so to further and strengthen the toy economy, we should probably help direct them to our amazing toy shop sponsor. So we have three great stores that help sponsor this program: Strange Cat Toys, My Plastic Heart, and 3D Retro. Two of which have amazing promo codes for our listeners to use. So if you go to strangecattoys.com, load up that cart, and use our promo code MARSHAM at checkout, you will receive 10% off that entire order. That's a great discount. I happen to know that they have two 20-inch Autumn Stag Dunnies available. That's a $650 price tag, but use our promo code MARSHAM. You can get $65 off that. That's really, really good. Otherwise, another promo code, you can go to myplasticheart.com. If you happen to live in the States and spend $75 or more, you'll receive free domestic shipping. Sorry, no shipping codes for you international listeners. And then there's 3D Retro. 3D Retro has a beautiful brick and mortar location out there in Southern California, Burbank adjacent. I've never seen it in person myself, but I've seen it behind the counter. I've seen lots of videos of it. It looks beautiful. So if you're in the area, be sure to stop by and check it out and say hello to Ben and the rest of the 3D Retro gang. They're a great a bunch of people. Otherwise, you can visit them at 3dretro.com. And then to stay on top of all the latest and greatest in designer toy news, be sure to like and follow SpankyStokes.com and TheToyChronicle.com. And get the Toy Chronicle app for your phone. Download it any one of your favorite app stores. That's how we stay on top of the news. Most of the stuff that we're talking about in this episode we got from them, so be sure to download that. I'm trying to remember what we were talking about. Oh, we were talking about theme series. So, since you brought it up, did you see that Popmart's going to be doing an OK Luna Gooby the Fox blind box series? And it's going to be summer themed, so that seems right up your alley.
yes, yes. Oh my gosh. Did you see the little seal one? The seal pup?
They're pretty cute. They're
Oh my
adorable.
God. They're
I
cute.
knew
But
you would
yeah,
like those. There's no sad faces on them.
oh, it's perfect. They're super cute. It's got the right theme, the summer series. Even the Demo Animal series that's coming out. I'm super excited because Demo is one of those things that I've not found a way to really easily buy. So this will be a way to get my hands on it. And it's a super cute animal theme. So I do dig that animal theme when it's like a character in a like an animal onesie or like an animal hat.
The demon ones are really nice. I like those. You mentioned the Fluffy House in the House series. Yo, yo, yo. What do you think of that series? Because it's like an urban street scene. It's got boomboxers and dance troops and break dancers and skater kids and graffiti. It's like, I don't know that this is a series that relates to you, but I know you like Fluffy House characters.
It's not my favorite. There are other Fluffy House series that have come out that I like better. Um, but at the same time, it kind of cracks me up because I don't know. There's like a little freaking beatboxing ordinary bear, which is hilarious.
Do you think this
Uh,
appeals to the urban side of collectors, or is this too
eh,
stereotypical?
yeah, I mean it is a bit stereotypical, I guess. So I don't know if like the true hip hop urban folks of the scene would look at this and be like, yeah. I don't know. So there's like a skater kind of theme in here and you're into the skate scene. Like how do you feel about it?
It has skateboards. I mean, that's about as far as it relates to it, and sometimes that's all it takes is that little bit of relatability. But does it tap into me as an '80s skater kid directly? No. But would I pick up that one skater cloud pushing off? Yeah, I like that one. But I don't know that I would need the rabbit one that's just sitting cutely on the skateboard just because there's a skateboard. But that's the thing with this series. It's very outsider looking in, designing stereotypical portrayals of all these different urban groups, right? So they got the break dancers, the graffiti kids, the skater kids, the maybe dance troupe. There's one that looks like it's like a bouncer, drug dealer rabbit, the cash money tycoon. They're fun. It's a fun series, but I don't know that I would take my chances on it as a blind box series as a whole. But open box, yeah, I might pick up one or two.
Yeah. It's not my favorite Fluffy House theme for sure, but there are a few in there that I think are cute enough that I might go for them.
Yeah. Speaking of Fluffy House, did you see that they're doing a collaborative toy with Amanda Vazel?
Oh yeah, the clouds.
Yeah.
I did.
So I'm curious what you think of these because I know you like Fluffy House and Amanda Vassell and these, but at the same time, I also know what your triggers are, and these might be a little sad, depressed, and aged looking for you.
Yeah. So there's the series that they're working on, collaborating with Amanda Vassell on. It's a set of three. So what they've done is it's I guess I'd interpret it as Amanda Vassell's interpretation of the Fluffy House characters, Mr. White Cloud and Little Raindrop.
Yeah,
And naturally, Mr. White Cloud, just for context, Mr. White Cloud actually naturally has like a meh basic face. He does not smile. So in a way, it kind of aligns with that. But you're right. They've got a cool kind of vintage feel, that distressed look that's very much Vassell. But for me, they're not they're not there for me from a like a you're right from like a mood perspective. There's like the dark sad cloud, the kind of medium meh cloud, and then they did kind of a happy one. But the colorway, I think the colorways are a little too vintage for me.
yeah. See, I know you. This is exactly what I thought you were going to say. What about the if you can just buy the little raindrop character by itself?
The happy one probably. I could see myself doing that. Although at the end of the day, I'd probably still prefer the regular raindrop style from Fluffy House because it's cuter. Actually, do you know? I was trying to figure out, um, like what are they made of? Like, are they produced? Are they vinyl, resin? Do you know?
Yeah, it says the vinyl figure set will be available in 3 editions.
Oh, you have to buy it as a set?
No, 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 no. The rain cloud and the raindrop they're considering a set,
Ah, I gotcha. Okay, the pair.
and it's available in 3 different editions: Cloudy Day, Black Cloud, and Shine.
Rain and shine. Yeah, rain.
Yeah, I'm just curious what you thought. I know it's too big for you, you collecting wise, but I thought maybe you'd be into it since you're into Fluffy House.
It's a nice collaboration, but for me, it's just not quite there. Not
Oh,
enough to get me to pull the trigger.
What else was seen at BTS?
Okay, I want to go back because when we were talking about food themes. So, have you seen Feces?
I have seen Feces, and I
So,
kind of like it.
I actually like it too. Okay, so I actually found it while perusing some Instagram hashtags, and Toy Chronicle actually posted about it. So I'm looking at this, and I go in, and this Feces character is made by, I guess, an artist or company called Lola Toy. Am I saying that right? Lola? You think that's right?
Yeah, probably.
But so I did not know the name of the character. And I'm going through and I'm looking at it, and I would equate it to this kind of cute little blobby character. But there's a couple different themes. So there's one with like a bunch of little veggies on him. There's one with a bunch of sweets. There's one with chocolate. Sometimes they're kind of smiling or making a little surprised O face or whatever. But when I saw these, I was like, oh, these are like some super cute, toy, like food toy themed things, like super adorable. And then I seen the name Feces, and I had this like moment of, that's a weird name. And then it hit me. It's freaking poop, Gary.
I had the exact same experience. I fell in love with it just visually by opening up the image, and then you see the name. Then I'm thinking, that's international. Maybe it translates differently. But the name is spelled out on toilet paper, so it's obviously poop. But it's not in your face about it.
It's a lot. Once you know it's called Feces, you realize it's meant to be like a turd. But I think what I like about it is if I pretend not to know the name and I pretend that it's not poop themed, you don't know it's poop and it's
Mm-hmm.
still cute.
Yeah.
And the coolest, I don't know if you saw too, and I don't know if they did the same for the chocolate and the candy, but when they did the veggie one, the veggies were actually separate pieces and the main character was magnetic, so you could put them on wherever you want.
Oh, that's cool. Really?
Isn't that cool? Yeah, if you scroll through, we can include the link obviously in the notes, but if you go to the Lola Toy Instagram and scroll down,
You're
you can
right.
kind of
No,
see.
I'm at Toy Chronicle.
It's awesome.
That is brilliant.
So you can kind of pick and play and put them wherever you want, and it's cute. I'm trying to figure out too if the mouth is magnetic as well, because if you look at the candy indigestion version, I'm
Different
seeing
mouths.
I'm seeing their different faces. Do you think they're interchangeable mouths?
Uh,
I think they are. Like it's a soft resin magnet. The parts include the body, the base, different mouths, and then all the different like things you pin on it. And this veggie one was $30 plus shipping. That's so cheap.
this is brilliant. There's not enough pieces. It's only 15. A company needs to contact this producer and
Make these
make these.
production.
Yeah, this is a great idea. I love it. I love
And
this
again,
idea of almost having like a mini refrigerator toy that you can stick magnets to.
yes. And I love the interchangeable mouths. That to me, because if they had just had the meh sad mouth, I would have been a little bummed. Oh, I wonder if you can spin it. I bet it's the same mouth, and you can either put it sad or happy.
Yes, you will be able to. And what I like about it too
But
is a lot of designers sometimes put the mouth too high, the mouth too low. With it being magnetic, I can put it exactly where I want to give it that just right cute proportioning that you and I like.
yes, I agree.
Huh.
And as a super side note, I actually, if you scroll through their feed, they have some really cute cube figures as well, where they've done like a little ice cube with feet, and they've done ones that look like cheese and ice and
What are they? Lola Lie. Very cool. Great work.
I feel like we're gonna always constantly be finding out about these artists overseas that are doing some amazing things, but we just didn't know
Just a
until now.
shame it's so low run.
But you think about it, they are hand casting and hand making all this stuff. My hope is that maybe we shouldn't have talked them up so much so that I could buy one first, and then we could talk them up. It stinks because that veggie one is probably my favorite, the yellow one with all the veggies, and it's sold out.
Hmm.
Wah. Maybe I can, one thing I will say, a pro tip I guess to you and other collectors. I have found that a lot of artists, overseas or not, but a lot of up and coming artists that are hand making stuff, while they might make limited sales, a lot of them are really open to making more. So if you see something you really like, I guess I'm kind of on the page of it never hurts to reach out. Like they actually have a Facebook page as well, so you could reach out to them through Facebook Messenger or DM or whatever. But I found that a lot of times where you think you're not going to be able to get something, they're a lot willing to make more and sell you a piece. So I might reach out on this and just see if somehow, some way they'd be willing to make more. Or a lot of times, even for shows like BTS, there have been times where I know people are hunting for them, and I always just say, just contact the artist, because it's very possible they'll set one aside from you, and a lot of times they will. They're like, oh yeah, you're interested? Awesome. I'll definitely save you one. So never hurts.
Oh, that chocolate one's great. I'm just seeing that one for the first time.
They're all good. Okay, one more thing that I think fits our semi-cute, our cute likings that I want to talk about, and I'm curious what you think. You're familiar with T9G and the Rangius character, right?
Yes.
So Rangius, and I don't know, is Rangius, but it is typically produced as it's this very heavily detailed kaiji kind of monster. You might be familiar with it through the VAG series. They've done some chibi versions through that. There's also been a lot of collaborations of Rangish and Byron, and even an Instinct toy with Rangion and all that. But anyway, I saw a post. They have sculpted a new cutified version called Rangish Jr. that's going to be sold at the Little Hut booth. And it's absolutely adorable. Have you seen it?
I have not seen that. Have you? Is there a link for this?
It is. It's if you go to T9G's Instagram account, you can actually see the behind the scenes sculpt and the final piece.
Hold on.
The Instagram is XT9GX. But it's much more simplistic and smooth, and the face is cuter. It's kind of got a Labubu-esque mouth, and the eyes remind me a bit of Teresa Chiba's.
Dude, this is awesome.
You like it?
I really like it. Yeah, the Rangius in the past never appealed to me because it was heavily sculpted, had a more monster appeal, and this appeals to me greatly. This is something George will look at and says that's just smooth and dumb. Took all the detail out of it. But now it appeals to me way more. I'm watching the video of it on Instagram. And what I'm kinda, you know what's kinda weird?
What?
So there's some like detailing blobbiness and whatnot on the head, but the body doesn't have it. So it almost looks like two different toys. Like the head, you could just pop that off, and it almost feels like it's a different creature on someone else's body.
All right, I'm covering it up with my hand to visualize. I get what you're saying. There's this sort of scallopy detail at the bottom of the head. And you're right. I mean, I could see popping it off the body, and it could be like a little blobby dude on his own, but I still really like it. I think you make a point maybe seeing some of that blobby detail carried into the body, but I like how it's very simplistic. It's adorable.
It's a great translation. I love this. This is fantastic.
And I was trying to find it, but if you're looking at the T9G, you can see that they're going to do a pink colorway, and the final piece that's promoted in the links that Popmart posted to WeChat, it's actually going to have color as well. There's going to be some green sprays. I was going to try to find it so I could show it with you easily, but it's basically here, I'll just send this to you real quick.
It's too big for you though.
It is bigger, because there is a picture where you can see it in hand, and you're right, it is larger than I'd prefer. You know what I think would be a really cool application for this? Would be VAG. They've done VAG series, but oh my god, could you picture this as a Vinyl Gotcha? It'd be perfect.
Yeah, no, it would be perfect. It's probably in the works.
It is larger than I'd prefer, but I still really, really like it. I could see myself getting one. I just sent you on Hangouts the picture with the color applied so you could see it.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. And again, because they only did the paint on the head, it does feel like this weird creature took over someone else's body, kind of like symbiosis. That sad salesman. It just kind of feels like a head took over a body.
I see what you're saying. It could be an interesting play for them to create different heads for the body.
I like that.
But it's fun. I like it a lot too.
Very nice.
Okay. So digging into stuff that I think we should definitely touch on that may not be, I guess, in our cute wheelhouse, but are really fantastic. One piece that I saw was actually promoted on Vinyl Pulse. I saw it on their Instagram page. There's this really cool detailed sculpture that's going to be at BTS. And okay, when I first read it, so the sculpt is named "You Will Not Certainly Die," and I cannot figure out the name of the artist and how to say it because it looks like Toby to me. But then when you go to their Instagram, I don't know if it's supposed to be T-Obey or Tobey, or is it Instinct Toy Style and it's To-Obey?
This is so, we've talked about this before, where this is LA Story Style and artists trying to be too fancy with their damn names. So it's spelled lowercase t, capital O, lowercase b, lowercase e, lowercase y. I don't know how you would pronounce that. I want to say it's probably To-Obey. But on his Instagram account, even getting fancier, the T is supposed to be a cross. So I don't know.
I don't know.
Let's say Tobey.
I want to go with To-Obey, Instinct Toy Style. It sounds weird to say Toby, but that was my first instinct. So anyway, I'm going to go with To-Obey. But anyway, so there's this, I'm glad you were able to pull it up. So there's this piece, and I'm a dummy, I won't lie. When I first saw this, like out of the corner of my eye, what you see is a monochromatic nude woman biting an apple and this figure wrapping around it. And when I first saw it, I thought it was Snow White biting an apple, and then like the thing around it was like evil smoke or evil creature or whatever. But when you dig into the details and the artist, you realize it's actually got kind of a religious spin to it, and it's based off of Adam and Eve.
I cannot believe you did not see that right away.
I didn't. I looked at it and I was like, oh, apple, Snow White. And then I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Oops, that's not it. So it's actually
this is like totally playing on the forbidden fruit, the snake, Adam and Eve thing. Yeah.
But it's a very cool sculptural piece, and the way so it's actually a snake. It's not like creepy smoke or anything, but it's a very cool aesthetic with the way it winds up around. And it's got a really cool gloss finish to it where the rest of the figure is matte. And it's really well done.
Yeah, no, it's very nice. And I think what I find most appealing is what you're saying. The girl in the center is a matte monochromatic feel, and the black snake around it is high gloss. And that contrast works really, really well with this. It's a really nicely done sculpture. It's got great silhouetting, great form. There's some storytelling in there. Yeah, this is nice. Yeah. I've never heard of. It's a Korean artist, To-Obey, all one word.
And I like too how they included the gloss on the apple too, so it kind of connects the dots there a bit between the snake and the apple. But What's interesting though, when you look at it, Gary, and you kind of read the details,
There's some nip.
There is a little nip.
I thought the arm. I saw the other angle, so I thought maybe the arm was covering the nip, but no.
And some booty as well.
Ah, nice.
But the thing that's interesting is when you read up on it through Vinyl Pulse, it doesn't say a producer. And I'm wondering, do you think it's self-produced?
Probably.
Because is it made in resin? Do you think it's like Colas where they're doing it all on their own?
Seems like it. There's really not much info here.
But if that's self-produced, that is a killer self-production because it is really clean.
It's really, really nicely done. But as far as information, it's pretty vague.
There, I will say I'm perusing the comments, and someone asked, can we purchase in the U.S.? And the artist commented back and said, I have a plan to release it to America next year. So, more to come.
Okay.
But related to kind of this sort of sculptural, I guess, toy approach, there's an artist or company, I'm not even sure if it's one or the other, but someone we haven't talked about yet that I feel like we should definitely cover. Have you heard of Sank Toys?
I have. I can't picture what they've done though.
So their Instagram is just Sank Toys, SANK, and they, okay, I feel like they're up and coming, and I
These are the deep sea diver ones that I've been seeing around. A bunch of different variety of like deep sea divers wearing the big metal antique diving helmets.
I've really in my head wanted to call it a sea astronaut, and this is it's not what it is, but
It's
it's kind of what it reminds me of. But yes, it's that sort of vintage deep sea diver approach. They have this sort of more sculptural effect, more distressed look, but they kind of have a variety of stuff they release. So they've got everything from soft vinyl up to resin, up to these really large sculptural pieces. So the more standard figure that you're probably looking at on their feed, where it's just a simple boy standing with the helmet, they call Little Sank or Sank the Child. But then they also have these larger pieces. One of the ones they're going to have at BTS is called Gone with the Wind,
I'm
but
looking at that now. That's
it
crazy.
oh, so cool. It's there's like this, I don't know, feather, I guess, coming off of the diver helmet, but it's really long and extended and very flowy, and that's the base of the piece. So the diver is upside down and floating in the air.
That's really
It's
nice.
so cool. And
You're
they've
right.
done
Now that
other
you said
ones.
astronaut, I can't not see it as an astronaut. I'm
It's a
not
sea
seeing this in the.
astronaut.
It is, but I'm not. I just the way he's floating in the air on that one that Gone with the Wind. I just I know he took a photo of it on a teal water like background, but I just see an astronaut floating in space.
It's honestly kind of a, and maybe it's intentional. It's almost kind of a merger of the two worlds.
Maybe.
But it's very, very cool. And the other thing that's interesting is they're actually doing a custom show at BTS. So that little Sank figure, they've pulled in a bunch of customizers, a lot that we know. So Uncle Studio and MP Gotheron and JFO, Jason Forbes, who does the different customs with light included.
Mm-hmm.
He did these really cool sync lights where the helmet is lit from inside, and they've
Nice.
got like a LED lit base. So that's kind of cool to see them pulling a bunch of artists we're familiar with and doing a custom show at BTS for their figures.
Yeah, these are nice.
Yeah, people, if you don't know Sync Toys, I think definitely worth looking at. And there's some really cool pieces. They even have little cube animals too. So like cubified ocean animals like a dolphin and a shark, a whale.
Yeah, those are the ones I think I recognize their name from.
And oh my God, I just saw a reference photo of Gone with the Wind in that sort of, so it's going to be in that green patina style.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it's massive, Gary. I just saw,
Oh, the one next to the Pepsi can.
yes, oh
Yeah.
my God, this is huge.
Yeah. It's
It's
pretty large.
14 centimeter by 17 centimeter by 40 centimeter. Is that what it is? It's huge. It's like you think about Sideshow Collectibles and the giant like Spider-Man statues or whatever they have at SDCC. It reminds me of that. It's huge. So what else? Instinct Toy will be there. I think the thing that we're kind of getting back into cute a little bit, but they have a new Fluffy character they teased last October actually, and it's their signature kind of eyes and the face with the triangle teeth. It's actually the little character that's imprinted on the back of Muckies. It's the same face you see on King Corpse and Kaiju Killer, but they created a new character called Fluffy for it. It's just like a little fluff ball. So it's like a fuzzy little guy with a cute little face on it. It's adorable.
Is this a miniseries?
No,
Blind box series?
no, it's just a character. So have you
But
ever
it's a
seen their
series. It says series 1 in like several different colorways.
maybe I don't think it is. We've looked at, remember when we talked about the Instinct toy and the small stuff they make, and sometimes they say series, but really it's not a series. but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Hmm.
But that'll be there. That's fun. What else?
I'm not a pin collector, but right now I'm looking at the enamel pins that sets that Popmart's going to be doing for BTS. They're three enamel pin box sets, so three enamel pins to a box set, and they're all kind of themed, just like everything else they do. So there's a Labubu Carnival series, there's a Pucky Space one, and then there's a Molly one, which is really cute. It's a little train series, so each enamel pin is a little train car. So if you put them all together, it may like form a train. It's really cool.
Oh, that sounds cute.
Yeah, you should
The
look at
idea
the
of it.
presentation for these. They're like I said, the outside of the box is really nicely themed to match the art, but also there's an insert that's a printed insert that goes inside the box behind the pins, and so they're themed as well. So like for the Labubu Carnival series, it's kind of like a silhouette of some rides and
Oh,
stuff in the background. It's a really nice presentation. Enamel pins are usually just attached to business cards, so this is a nice
like a,
presented box set. It's cool.
yeah, like the theme backer cards in the boxes. That
Hmm.
train one is really cute. It'd be fun to see them do the train, but with other characters.
Yeah, where you just keep on adding on to it.
Oh, oh, that's a toy idea right there, Gary.
It's been done.
It has?
Yeah, Kid Robot did one like, oh man, 8, 10 years ago. I actually have it. It was a blind box series. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it was single artists, and each blind box contained a train car. It had like a creature in each train car. If you got the whole series, it formed a long train. It was awesome.
Okay, they need to bring that back because that's awesome. That needs to be a thing. Oh my God, imagine if Pop Mart did it, but they did like a mixed artist series. So it was Molly and Labubu and Pucky and Sailor Rory and Fluffy House or whatever. But they took the main characters and they were each in like a little car and you can make a giant train out of it.
How about Unboxing Friends? Instead of another sitting series, you
Oh,
could do another train series.
yes. Oh, or Thimble Stump. Ooh, or even your stuff. Or just like, oh, I don't know. Oh, I'm so excited about this idea.
Give me,
Someone make
give
it
me the
happen,
money.
please.
Give me the money. I'll do it. I'll have a Whooper
Oh, it's
Looper,
even
a
like your
Hermes, a Sylvan.
even your toydom, like the fact that you kind of did a collab there, it reminds me of that. Like oh, imagine being able to pull in like all these different artists in the scene and put their little characters, and you could have series 2 and it connects to series 1. And ah, why has no one done this?
It's like I
I'm
said.
so
It's been done in a miniseries like 10 years ago.
That was forever ago, and I don't even know about it. So no one fresh to the scene and probably knows about it either. I want it to exist again, but with like artists. Yeah.
It would be fantastic in a mixed artist series.
Oh, it'd
That
be
would be really
so
cool.
cool. It even reminds me a bit of Eric's That Salesman's Symbiosis, and I feel like there's a lot of opportunity there with the little swappable heads to go further with it and create like if you buy the base body, but then he just sells packets of new heads that are collaboration with other artists, like little Whooper Loopers, or oh my gosh, I don't know. The sky's the limit. But that's another area. Eric, make it happen. Oh, these things need to exist, Gary. I'm excited. Get excited with me. Have some pep. I want to hear woohoo.
Woohoo!
There we go. Yahoo! Do it.
My kids are in my house now, probably wondering what the hell Dad is doing. Oh, I
Okay.
found that series I was talking about. It was by Kid Robot, and it's called Rollin' Stock, and the artist was Kid Acne. Yeah,
Rolling Stone. I gotta look this up because I've never heard of it. I've never seen this.
it's older. I mean, this is what's
Oh, the giraffe is fun.
what's the date on this?
This is,
2009, so 10 years ago.
I mean, that was before I got into this. Yeah, like this, yes. But do it again. Cross artist. This is cute. These are fun. These are fun little designs.
Yeah, I
I
have
have
this
never
series. I
seen
gotta
it.
dig it out of a box. It's
Which one do you have?
I got them all.
You have the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I want to see pics. How have I not seen you post those?
Because it was probably on like a shelf. Because it's so long, it was probably on a different shelf.
This is fun. Okay, now I'm stuck on this idea. Someone somewhere needs to do this. This is cool. Okay. So yeah. Okay, real quick. One more last BTS thing. I know we've been talking for a while, but you had brought up Toy Zero Plus earlier. We were talking about different licensed characters and whatever, but I thought they were doing kind of a fun thing with one of their releases at BTS. We had talked about it a while ago. They have this character, Lulu the pig, and then we were talking about it a while ago, CC Story, and they were selling them in the different like spam cans.
Mm-hmm.
But they're releasing an extra large version of BTS. So it's a large flocked pig. But what I think is kind of fun is if you buy any Lulu the Piggy Can product that's, I guess, at least 300 RMB, they're going to give you a scratch card. And the scratch card is like a free little lottery ticket. And when you scratch it, you get a free little extra.
That's
So
fun.
so they have little stickers and washi tape and badges, just fun little freebies. But it's like a lottery style. And when I see stuff like that, I'm like, oh man, I wish we did more things where you sell it and you get a little something, you could scratch it and get a little extra goodie.
Kids love that stuff. My kids love scratching off that little gray circle on lottery tickets.
Yes.
That's fun.
It's very satisfying, isn't it?
It's just nice to have something a little extra, a little playability to something.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun little concept.
And you can actually win something. What can they win again?
So they say you can, they have Lulu tattoo sticker, Lulu badge, and Lulu washi tape.
Now, is this something that you can only win if you're on site at a convention and they hand you on the spot? Like if you pull, this isn't something you get online and have to mail in for it, is it?
No, I doubt it. I think it's specific to BTS. So
Okay.
like an event exclusive kind of fun thing, which makes sense. And it's just something fun for the attendees. So, I mean, you think about any booth, like you go up and, buy
I
something.
like this more than the coin collecting thing. I like the kind of raffle playability of this. I really like the idea of it potentially winning like this really big grand prize. Maybe you win a prototype or something that's extremely limited colorway of something.
Yeah,
I like this idea.
That's a fun idea to have like a hidden rare prize amongst them. So everyone wins something, but there's a rare few that will win something even cooler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it. Let's wrap it up. We've talked a lot.
Yeah, see, we can bring we gotta feel like at the end. Don't you feel like we got a little mojo back?
Yeah. I think what it is when you're not talking toys with me, I don't really talk to many other people. When you're not talking toys with me, I'm kind of out of sight, out of mind. So when you and I are doing what we're doing, I get more interested. So we just need to communicate more. Stop your working. Tell your work, hey, I'm a 40-hour-a-week gal.
It's not just been work, but I hear you. Okay, I'm the key to your mojo. And you're the key to mine.
Okay. All right, Mojo Jojo, let's wrap this up. Good talking with you.
Yeah, it's good to catch up. We got to keep this train rolling. And the train could be a cool train. Oh my God, we should create a Marsham train toy where it's Yumi and George in them.
Ooh.
With the little alien at the front driving.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, or instead of a train, since it's space themed, maybe it's somehow like a spaceship.
A space train.
And the beginning is our little mascot, and then it's us riding behind it.
That's good. Yeah. Nobody would buy it, but we could probably just have one sculpted up for us. Just a one-off.
Yes.
That we can give away and then never give away.
Well, we would all want one. And
Did I ever ship the... Did you ever get me the address of the winner of the Super Plastic prediction pool thing?
You never gave Brian his prize?
Did you give me his address?
No, I kind of handed it off to you, I think.
Well, I need his address.
I need to message Brian. Did you ever give Kyle his prize for winning the poll?
Kyle said he didn't need a prize. Winning was enough.
Man, we really have lost our mojo. Sorry, Brian. Oops.
All right.
Okay,
Give me
this has
his
been fun.
address and I'll get him some out in the mail.
Whoever's going to BTS, have fun. Post lots of pictures. We'll be looking from afar, but it looks awesome.
All right, let's wrap this up. Where can people find you, Teresa?
Yep, people can find me on Instagram, tmhawk24.
I'm Gary Ham. You can find me at superham.com or Gary Ham on Instagram. We're getting our mojo back. We're going to try to keep doing this
As much as we can.
as much as we can. So until our next transmission, we're signing off. Bye.